Screaming because of that. God damn it! Either way, the damn croc kept going around and around and around and around, and it was amusing. Yeah. Mostly what I started the live stream for, because that's just hilarious. And if you're wondering why I still have all my gear, it's because I just exited out, and apparently it didn't save, so I have all my gear still. So, yeah. The fun. Any killers on? Me and him talked last night. I don't know, here it seems like animals keep getting glitched. Funny glitches. Up until you're trying to put a Uteranus on a Quetz, and the Quetz is, hello Hunter, and the Quetz is keeps going underneath the ice that the Quetz is on instead of going above the ice like all the other creatures. God, I love these tech boots. Eh. Let me up there. I'm so close. No. It's the only tech armor I can wear. Or use. Pure node. Oh, gold! Shit! Well, fine. Yeah. Whee! Tech boots totally negate fall damage. Well, I can climb a lot steeper mountains because of the tech boots. Tech boots totally negates fall damage as long as you have element, which is this. But it's at 90% element power, so. Each tech armor does something different. The boots allow but the boots allow no fall damage and apparently can climb steeper objects. I know the chest piece is basically a jetpack. The helmet can analyze creatures or something like that. So right now I'm in preparation of trying to beat each monster. Right now I'm working on getting the stuff from this. Which I have the Megalodon teeth. I have the claw, well, both sets of claws. The only thing I need is the Spino and the Toxin. Here's one of them, Devourer, which you get from the Carno Island, which... wrong button. Is about 15 lat and 80 long. My house. What do you mean, my house moving? Well, if you're talking about this, I'm using the left analog stick. Which I can also use the up, down, left, right to do that if I wanted to. Whee! I love these damn boots. That ship thing. Are you talking about the... Oh, you're talking about the Quets, aren't you? The Quets can get platform saddles. The platform saddles can hold structures. That's a Quetzal. Brontos can also have platform saddles along with some other types of creatures. I have another one back at my main base that I don't even have a normal bed for yet. Because I got two bases. My old base was my main base up until I made this new one, which I'm heading to now. Oh, well, that's a Uranus. Stuck in a rock. Hang on. Do I have a pick? Yes, I do have a pick. This is a Uranus. I call them screamers because they scream and give other debuffs or buffs to certain dinos. If they're wild, they will give buffs to, like, Carnos. And any other creature will get debuffs, like running away, for an instance. Which can be bad. I don't think we are actually infected. I think our tames are for the debuffs. Whee! I don't know what the gauntlets or the leggings do for the tech armor. I haven't really looked into that far. Oh, wolves. Ascendant weapons. They are the best tiers of each individual weapon. So this Ascendant weapon is pretty damn good. We can only physically make primitive weapons, which is the basics of the weapons. But you can get blueprints out of drops. Alpha. But you can get blueprints out of drops to get better stuff. I hate Diodons. Wolf, if you got yourself in a mess, I am not getting you out. And plus, I like mammoths. Yeah, there's a lot about this game that can be confusing. If you're wondering what the red glow on the wolves are, that's because it's an alpha of a pack. Which, every time when I kill the alpha stance will change. Wolves get alpha bonuses and pack bonuses. Allosaurs do. There's other animals that I can't think of right now. But Allosaurs and wolves are pretty good. Oh, hyenas. I know they do. Ooh, purple drop. Red drops are the rarest and obviously best since they are the rarest. See what I mean by getting ascendant and stuff? Sickles are used to get fiber from plants. It can only get fiber, so you can't get berries. This is a type of plant that can produce fiber and berries. And depending on the area that you're in, they look slightly different. Ooh, have I been to that place? No, I haven't. Explorer nodes. They can tell you a lot about a lot of things. Like the hold on. Where's my cursor? Actually, I might be able to access it from that point. I don't know why I did not have a shirt on. Yeah, there's my cursor. These notes will tell you about certain creatures. If you see a check mark, that's because I have tamed them at one point or another. If they're locked, that means I haven't discovered it at all. If they have a... Like, if they show the creature and has it locked, I have unlocked it on another world, which I haven't done on any other worlds yet, so it doesn't show up. But I've unlocked it from the world, but I don't have it for this world, which means I can't actually access the information until I go back to the world I have it on. But like I said, this is my main world, which means everything I find, I know. Is that a yellow drop or a red drop? I can't tell. Probably yellow. Still here, Hunter, or? Alpha! Damn, I missed. Oh well. Guess I'm not missed now. Apparently I'm stuck. Not anymore. It can be confusing if you're new at it. There are some glitches and stuff, but... these are Enkies. They are very good at getting metal and stuff. Writable, obviously. Most animals in this game are going to be writable. Ooh, Polivia. Polivias I call claymores because that's what they do. They actually dig themselves into the ground and are ambush predators. Good for PvP. I have some. That's a low level one too. Well, it's a mid level, but low mid. Pterodons are most likely going to be first flyer tames that most people get. RGs are probably going to be the next step up. Each animal has their own positives and negatives. Like each one does something different. Pterodactyls or pterodons, depending on which way you prefer to pronounce, can fly faster than most other species of flyers, and they won't attack you whenever you try to trank them or kill them. So that's a positive. They're meat eaters. Regular meat eaters. Exact. These are like seagulls, turtles. Put silica pearls in them, and if you own a squid, well, if you own a turtle and a squid, you can put silica pearls into the turtles and attach the squid to the turtle, and the turtle will slowly gain black pearls, which are used for certain types of crafting, which I haven't really got into. Although I do have 2 squids and several turtles, but only I only have 1 here. Mainly for that particular reason. I don't know why that person's honking outside. Do you like my turtle's name? These are my squids. Right there, and over there. You got a male and a female, so I can mate them. This creature right here can actually get a platform saddle. The squids can't, but yeah. Got my Rex. Plant species X you can get in the swamps. Because if you see the base right here, that's kind of what the species looks like in the wild. But once you actually plant them, they get this and they can shoot. Well, it changes the regular silica pearls to black pearls, yes. Which, like I said, are used in certain types of crafting. So you got pterodons, which I showed you, and then you got not pterodactyls, tappy jars, not happy jars, which are a 3-seater flyer and can fly pretty fast, just like the pterodon. RGs can pick up a lot more creatures than the pterodactyls and tappyjaras, but they're slower, and there's no way to upgrade the speed. This is what I call a Freddy, like Freddy, because of claws, and pretty powerful and quick. This is my alpha wolf pack. Eventually, this one will be up to 287 as well, max level for these guys. But what you're seeing over there is a Quetz with a platform saddle, which is the metal, with wooden stuff on it. The Quetz that you saw was my main Quetz. It actually has 2 beds on it, which allows me to respawn there, wherever the Quetz is. Wasn't trying to land on that, but okay. You got Trikes, which are probably going to be most likely your first tame. Wolves are very good if you can actually manage to get them, because they don't need a saddle. Where is my damn chest piece? It's bugging me how I don't have one on. Where is my... oh well, put that one on for right now. But yeah, wolves don't need saddles. These over here are otters, which I have one on my shoulder. Oh, you're fine. I'll be live streaming probably off and on. So yeah. Got Inkies, Dodex, very good at getting rocks. That's my friend Hell. He's offline. Sleeping like a baby. There's black pearls. Arrows are very easy to get for those who are wondering why I took arrows off of him, and I know he won't mind. Because arrows, you can actually, if you kill RGs, you can get arrows, for those who don't know. Which, for those who do know, that island right there will spawn a bunch of flippin' RGs. Megatheriums, which are these things, they kill insects very well, because every insect that they kill, including spiders, they get a buff, a damage buff, and that damage buff can stack, which means every insect that they kill, the stronger they get. So, my suggestion, take them to the spider boss, aka, what is it? God damn it, I forget the name of it. Of her. It's gonna bug me until I remember it. Oh well. Okay. So I'm looking for my damn Tapijara, my level 100 Tapijara. That's literally the name, LV100, because that's what level it was when I first found it. It's not a big deal if I can't find it, because I can get others. Because I parked it right here, but for some reason, the Quets and the Tapijara kept flying over here. But when it disappeared, I didn't really see where it went off to, and it's not over here. Because I keep flying right here. But I put the Tapijara on passive, and it hasn't done it since. So I think it was from aggroing. But I really don't know where the Tapijara went this time. Oh shit. Shit. Damn Meganora. Leave me alone. I killed your friend because he was attacking me. Da 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 da. Ooh, Allosaurus. Which where there's one, there's going to be more. Hyenas. Yeah, not so weak, am I? Hyenas are actually pretty smart. They hunt in packs, and they actually care about their pack. Unlike the wolves, who, if you take one of the wolves, although they will try to find the rest of their pack, like the leader, like if you take the leader will try to find the rest of the pack, but the rest of the pack don't care. Although they will still try to huddle together to make a pack, because wolves don't like being alone. But if there's still like two or more, they don't care. Alpha Raptor. I've played this game long enough to know what a lot of creatures are, just by looking at them. Is that a level 60 Alpha Raptor? Not anymore. Level 65, actually. Green drop, which I think is like the second or third tier drop. Because I know it goes white is the first tier, which is the most basic, which I think you have to be level 5 to get, which I'm level 100, so I can access them all. Excuse me. There's a couple of my dinos. These guys are pretty much the cousins of the Triceratops to be exact. those were beavers, if you're wondering. Beavers will protect their dams. Raptors often are hunt in packs, but they don't get a pack bonus or an alpha bonus. Come here, little beaver. Like I said, beavers protect their dams, so if you open any dam nearby, they will attack. The rest of that is pretty easy to get, which is why I only care for the cementing paste, because cementing paste is actually how you make a lot of higher tier items. Because it's either the cementing paste itself, or you make the cementing paste into polymer, which is used to make some of the best gear. Even to make the tech armor, you need polymer, which means you need cementing paste. This is the redwoods, for those who don't know. Which I don't know if Hunter is going to look at it or not. Don't care for those two items. The redwoods can be extremely dangerous for those who aren't aware. Because the redwoods will have specific creatures that is another type of ambush predator that can only stick to redwood trees, which is why they are commonly found in redwoods. And yeah. I mean, as long as you are aware of them and are looking for them, redwoods can be pretty safe. I think that's just a leaf. Yeah, just a leaf. They will usually be somewhere about here on the tree, but they can be on any face of the tree, so you do want to be careful. And they are a tameable and rideable creature, but you need a saddle for them. I have a couple at my secondary base. First base, or whatever you want to call it. There's no turtle. I think these trees are too small for them, but it's best to be cautious in the redwoods. Wait, is that a leaf? I think it's a leaf. That's a leaf. Thiocleos is actually an important part to summon the boss, well, to teleport to the boss that I'm trying to get to. Although I have all the claws I need from the Thiocleo, which is what I call the tree hugger. Because that's literally what they do. I think that's beehive. Yeah, that's beehive. Yeah, they're not the most common. They can also tear you off their tames. So you do want to be aware of that. And when I say tames, both the ground and the aerial tames. So don't come flying through here like all dilly-dilly unless you are prepared for them. Because they can be extremely dangerous. Let's just say at one point, I kept getting killed for coming through here and trying to actually end up getting one of my tames because I ended up getting killed. And yeah, it got to the point where I was about to put up the game because of how many times I died trying to get to it. And I was on flyers, I was on regular ones, regular ground units, and still was getting ripped off of the tames. Oh, T-Rex. 45. Definitely in for a surprise with that. Damn. I think it's Stego. Raptors. Oh. Well, there's a Thyaclea right there. There's 2 claws. Surprised it wasn't up in the tree. It was probably ambushed. It probably ambushed a creature and didn't go up yet. You can actually see them climbing trees every once in a while, which obviously gives them away. Cousin of the God damn it. Bronto. Cousin of the Bronto. I call it Berlanto, just for fun. I can say Bronto, but it's not as, like, amusing to me. And that's all I really care about is my own amusement. And for those who do care, or yeah. I mean, it's kind of like tomato and tomato, or lever and lever. I can say both, but I prefer the... Well, I prefer tomato, to be honest. But with the lever or lever, I prefer lever. Most people say lever, but I'm a rare species. Insects are a wonderful way of getting chitin slash keratin. I hate stompers. They're so annoying. Dire bear. I don't know if you need a saddle for those. Never really tried. Probably have one back at one of my bases. I have a lot of creatures tamed. Oh, speaking about the swamp. Oh. There's a snake and Dillo. Dillos are a pain in the ass. They aren't hard to kill or anything like that, but they are pretty annoying because they will spit something at you and it will blind you. You can still see-ish, but it's very annoying. And there are leeches, which on a normal setting will give you a disease, have a chance to give you a disease. I have that setting off because I don't feel like dealing with it. Is that a Troodon? Or a Microraptor? No, I was right the first time. Ow! Fucking A! I hate Troodons. And you think they're aggressive now. Wait until nighttime. Well, I can't get nighttime because I turned that setting off, but... I mean, I suppose technically I am technically able to get nighttime, but it takes an infinite amount of time for it to become nighttime. This was my primary base up until I made that new one, because I wanted to be closer to the Carno Island. Because the Carno Island... Basically, the more up north you are, the more dangerous the animals are. Because down here, there's not going to be too many hostile dinos. So, yeah. Over here is a Wyvern, which was transferred from my buddy's Hell World to my world. He originally transferred 2, but at one point I was riding this Wyvern, which you don't need a saddle for. But I was riding that Wyvern, and he was riding his, I think it was a Poison Wyvern. And we're up close to the sky, and all of a sudden he ended up lagging out, and we haven't been able to find his dino since. These are Spinos. If you remember Jurassic Park, for those who have watched it, you can actually see them there. Same thing with T-Rexes and other dinos that you probably have seen here. Ditch. Is this female or male? Male. Got my farms, got my beaver. Beavers are actually portable smithies. So anything that you can make in a smithy, you can make in a beaver. This is my row of campfires for charcoal. That's pretty much what I use them for. This is a actual smithy. And here's a fabricator, which you've probably seen earlier. And you got this, which needs to be turned off. Forgot I had that on. This is where I keep my meat items and what is that? Leech blood. Why can't I put leech blood in a damn refrigerator? It might be used in a crafting to... Really? Huh. Weird. I don't know why it's not allowing me to put the leech blood in when I've done it before. Cooked... Oh, that's why. Because it broke. Alright. I'll repair it some other time. Probably off camera. Ugh. Maximum number of space I can use. I don't know why it's not allowing me to. Put that in there. Oh, the pickpocketers in this game Stego Max, whatever. These guys will pickpocket you, and that's actually how you tame them, is to let them pickpocket you. But they will take from your last slot, and if there's nothing in your last hotbar slot, then they will take something random in your inventory. So, in other words, keep stuff that you don't really care about in your last slot. Which mostly becomes a nuisance whenever you are trying to tame a passive tame. Because most passive tames, you have to have some sort of food source in your last slot that they like. The exception is the hyenas. The hyenas like being petted, although they are very squeamish. So if they catch you, they will run off. Yeah, flag. I don't know if you ever notice when I'm lagging, but yeah. As you've seen in the redwoods, these are Leos. That's my 145, pretty damn good one. 150s are the highest natural animals that you can tame. You can get level like 300s and stuff like that, and there's a cave. Somewhere near 200 lat and not 200, but 20 lat and 20 long. Somewhere near there. I don't remember the exact location. But in the water cave, it's deep underwater. Yeah. There's creatures that can get about 300. I think 300 is the actual max. Could be wrong. So yeah. These are stegos with a bone costume that you can get every once in a while. It's like so annoying. It's like you should always be able to access that fucking first slot. Yeah. This is what the stego normally looks like. But the game's weird and it allows you to put costumes on stegos. The bone costume, I think, was originally made for Halloween, which I think around Halloween time is the way to get most bone costumes. Although, that's costume you get after, I think, unlocking a certain trophy or something. I don't remember. Yeah. If you're wondering what that tech Rex saddle is, you get it from, I think, which is over here. I don't remember if you get it from Ascending or not. My friend Hell has Ascended on, I think, on Alpha. So he has everything. But depending on the boss you do and what level will depend on how much stuff you will unlock for each individual boss. Some bosses, like, it doesn't matter, like, because I think each boss will have a gamma level item that it unlocks, but if you do it on a beta or alpha, I think you still get that item. So, but I think the chess piece, I think you have to do it on alpha of the dragon, which is the red obelisk, which I think you have to have. I know you. I'm pretty sure you need the artifact of the massive, along with some other ones. I haven't actually summoned it before, so I don't know. Like I said, I'm looking for Spinos. I don't know why, but supposedly a Spino will spawn somewhere near here the first time that you spawn. So I got lucky supposedly with this spawn, because the Spino that was in the area was actually over here, and the area I'm in is actually a spawn location, so technically I never need an actual bed there. Those are megalodons. And manta rays. Those things are good for getting chitin. I think it's chitin. Or chitin, depending on your pronunciation. Level 5 Bronto. This island is supposedly pretty common to spawn Quetzes. This is a white drop. One of the most common drops you can get. Ooh, simple bed. Not complaining about that. Actually, I'm not really complaining about any of that. The beds are how you can fast travel and respawn if you die. You cannot take any equipment whenever you fast travel. So, yeah. If you're having issues finding Quetzes, it's probably because they are less common. I think is how most creatures are. They are less common if you haven't tamed them yet. So your first Quetz will probably be a pain in the ass to find. And probably tame. But always, no matter what, if you're having a difficult time finding a certain species, go for any level. Don't be picky for the first tame, because, like I said, it's going to be less common. So you will have to tame one, and if you would like, you can also kill it. And higher levels and more, and they will be more common once you do it. Tame them once. Spinos like hovering around rivers and mostly rivers, but they can be found in the well, around the ocean, but not very common. And supposedly, if you're being chased by a Spino, if you run closer inland, then you won't have as much of, like, it will eventually de-aggro. And I think the further away from water it is, the further the aggro range is, and closer the de-aggro range is. Keep that in mind. And Brontos will spawn pretty heavily because I do have Brontos. Which is why I see a lot of them all the time. But they are extremely annoying. Which I'm sure you can tell from that damn stomping. Karna. Forget you, Karna. Already seen that one. Yeah, there is a spawn map that you can look at, find certain spawn areas, like common, uncommon, and stuff for every species. Supposedly the Quetzes, for an instance,
will spawn around the obelisks, and they like flying in between each obelisk, but not direct. So you can find them in along the route of an obelisk. And my suggestion, there are certain tames that are going to be a pain in the ass to tame. Uh, because, like, their Topor will either go down really quick, or they need a lot of time to uh, go to you. At that point, it's okay to do tame them if you have the admin commands on. Because don't be ashamed. Like for the Freddy Claws, for instance, they are a pain in the butt to tame because they don't eat very much. I think they are berry eaters, and berry eaters usually take longer to tame, anyways, because berries aren't very filling. And their Topor goes down pretty quick. So even with having the fastest tame speed on, it can be a bitch. Hyenas are another one that you shouldn't be ashamed of to do tame, because of how easily they are scared. Not saying it's right to do it to every animal. Technically, that is your right if you have the options. But don't be ashamed of doing it to certain creatures. Trikes are usually fine. Like trikes, if you have your taming speed as high as it can, well, as fast as it can, you probably won't need any narcos besides the initials ones to get it down. Narcos is narcotic, which will put creatures to sleep, no matter, pretty much no matter what they are. And the map is a default thing, so you don't have to be too worried about getting lost. 10. There goes my other chess piece. I don't plan on live streaming for too much longer, anyways. Where there's one raptor, there's bound to be others. Cause you like no freaking heads up on when you're hungry or thirsty. It's like so annoying. Is that Spino or Bronto or Dillosaur? Diplosaur or something. I think it's, yeah, Diplo something. The Diplosaurus, the cousins of the Bronto, they are a passive attacker, so they won't cause actual damage to you. They would just push you away with the tail, no matter if you damage them. So you do want to stay clear, because they will make sure you are clear. You're like the surgeons of this area. They're like, clear! Dr. Jokes. Gotta love them. Hey! The dicks. I call them roly-polies often, or dodicks. See, what is drinking? Like you have to. Like drinking only takes one sip, even if you're fully empty on thirst, to fully fill you up. But with hunger, you have to eat several things. Oh, sabers. Yeah, sabers, just attack them for me. Everything that has a gender can get a mate boost. There's only certain creatures that can't, but most creatures that can get a mate boost can also be breeded. I don't know. Oh, baryonyx, or whatever. I don't like these things. Baryonyxes or baryonyxes, depending on your pronunciation, they will stun you, which means you can't move. Seriously? It had a longer range than me. Oh, level 100. I think I have a 135 somewhere. I don't know. Dang, spinos are being a butt today. Yeah, apparently sabers, or Argies and sabers don't get along, apparently. I don't think Argies really like anything. Well, they probably just like meat way too much. I do apologize for the glare. This game's like... The consoles doesn't have a glare command. They do have a gamma, but not a glare. So coming from a dark area to a light area, you're probably going to be blinded for a second. I hate being in water like this. I can't see shit. Well, that's all I can see, actually, is shit. I can't see anything but the murky water. Is that the alpha, or... that one? No? I don't know. Wow, that glare. Yeah, these things are drunks. They like beer. So, how you tame them is beer. Oh, holy rhinos. I think they do have a pretty short aggression range. So if you get so close, they will probably attack. Ooh, is that a red drop? Yes. Holy rhinos. Or Polvias. Or a Polvia. Ooh, Alpha Carna. The Alphas are usually bigger than their predecessors. I have a lot of armor, which is why I'm not taking a lot of damage. Because I think it's mostly the tech boots. Durability is pretty high. What is it? 2,000 armor versus 1,000 armor. Or 80 or no, 60. I was right, it is a red drop. Hey, you Tyrannus. What level is that? Oh, that's a 105. Ooh, Spino. I don't do that with a lot of creatures. Utyrannuses are buttheads. Here, Spino, Spino, Spino. Ooh, that's a nice colored Spino. Dick. Yeah, Utyrannuses, especially if I have tames, I am most likely going to do tame it. Because my tames will run away at that point. And I try to prevent it. But in this case, there's a Spino right there. Mastercraft Sarco Saddle. Not bad. I might change this Utyrannus out with the one I have on the Ice Mountain. Because the only thing that you're doing with the do taming is instead of waiting for so long, for a tame to tame, it's instantaneous, which means you don't have to use resources to do it or anything else. Holy Rhino. I think they like rivers, ponds, and stuff, the Spinos, that they can swim in. But they don't have infinite oxygen, so yeah. Uteranus versus Uteranus. Good. Now, I did tame one of these guys at one point and gave it a saddle. If you're wondering what the actual saddle thing is, it's the YUTY to spawn in a saddle for it. And you'll need the GFI space, that name that I just mentioned. Saddle 1. Unless you want more than one. So you got some runners and some... Yeah. 135 direwolf. Yeah, I'm good. I got my alpha group. But it will be however many you want. So like 150, 200, so on and so forth. What grade you want it. And then I don't know what the last setting is. I usually just keep it at 0. But that's how you spawn in saddles and armor and stuff. I do occasionally spawn in armor depending on how I die. And if I die stupidly or bullshitly, and then I will spawn in the stuff I tied with. Usually a higher tier. Usually, not all the time. Okay. So I actually need to go over there if I want to trade these two off. Like with my gear, for instance, some of this is spawned in. The tech boots is, because I fall all the time. But a lot of the actual armor I actually worked hard to get. The scuba gear I did not do. That I spawned in. Same thing with the flippers. Because I ended up going into a water cave that I did not know was very long. So I quickly spawned in an air tank and then flippers to spawn quickly. A lot quicker. See what I mean about calling screamers? Because they scream. Piranha! Holy rhinos. And a Carno. And a Megatherium. Like I said, stay away from the Megatheriums whenever insects are around, because they do get a... as long as they have a buff, the damage buff on them, they will be very aggressive. They're normally passive unless they kill insects. Once they kill insects, they will harm your dinos and you unless they're tamed. Then they lose that aggressiveness.
I didn't do it. Leave me alone. I think I'm going to need to go this way to be able to get the Uteranus up. That actually was kind of scary. Damn it. Oh well. I ain't fucking with it.